Alright. Welcome back, everybody. This is your boy Skittlez. Thanks for joining the show today. Gonna be a long one. Gonna have a nice long chat again. So, kick back, relax, play me in the background, grab yourself a popcorn, turn on your Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. It doesn't matter. Enjoy the rest of the show. So, hope you guys have had a great summer. We're not going to talk about something I said in my last video.
Summer of Skittlez, part of the year where I no longer have school and can work on videos for a change.
Yeah, just not going to talk about that. Let's sit down. Let's talk about something real quick. So, a few days ago, I put out a poll on Twitter, and I was asking my millions of subscribers, what should my next video be about? What should it be about? And I asked them, rant about Destiny 2, like everybody is nowadays. Talk about Sonic before Forces comes out, which I do plan on doing regardless. Or I can rant for a long time about college, which is obviously what everybody chose. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into that. So, let's talk. Let's just have a recap real quick, all right? So, in case you didn't know, I am going into college for game design. I might have a minor in creative writing. If you know me, I'm a massive writer. I just write things. I'd love to make stories and do all that shit. So, game design. I've always been a fan of video games. This is pretty blatantly obvious. So, yeah, looking around the great state of Georgia for a college that does game design. That isn't SCAD, because SCAD is too goddamn expensive. So here I am, looking around, and I come across this college, and I'm like, huh, this looks alright. So, it's pretty damn far from my house, about 3 hours, actually. So, not only do I have to drive 3 hours to go to college, so obviously I'm living on campus, but I happen to land, to this day I'm not sure, either the best roommate in the world or the worst roommate in the world. I miss the guy, but there's just times where I realize, you know what? I probably shouldn't miss the guy, because he pissed me off all the time. But Anderson, if you're out there, best of luck, buddy. Best of luck. So, I'm going to talk about that for a while, and then I'm going to move on to, more recent times. So, my first year of college was at... And, the way our room is set up is, like, we have, our own room and everything. We sleep in our own room, and we share a bathroom. Like, you have two people grouped together in a suite. They're called suites, but they are not suite. So you have two people, and they share a bathroom. And so I'm on the left side, and he's on the right side, and we share a bathroom. It's pretty alright, pretty nice. I get to live by myself. Nobody bothers me, except for him, constantly, because I can hear him straight through the walls, because he likes to yell. A lot of yelling out of him. And, in the moment it really pissed me off, because it's like, dude, shut the hell up. Like, please, just be quiet for like 5 minutes. But the more I think about it nowadays, the more I realize, it was actually really funny. Because I used to laugh at the shit he would say all the time. It was funny. It was really funny. I miss the guy, I really do. I really do. So, if you're probably wondering, well, why do you miss him? Don't you still go there? No, I do not go to anymore. I go to... which is much closer to my home. Much, much closer. So here, it's much different. Things are much, much different. First of all, no Anderson. Second of all, the way the rooms are is it's actually a dorm room now, so we have two guys staying in the same room together, which I absolutely abhor. It's god awful. I really hate it. I hate it. I hate it to every fiber of my being. I just despise this whole concept. But let's not skip into too fast. Let's talk about the summer after. So I'm back home. Back home for the summer. It's great. The summer beforehand, before I went to college, I worked at my dad's company, who like does electricity, plumbing, and stuff like that. I didn't want to do that again because it was awful. It was bad. So I think, okay, I need to do something else. I need to do something else, and I didn't want to work retail. I didn't want to work at a restaurant. I didn't want to work, in any one of those jobs because it's just, I don't much care for the pay, okay? Like, first of all, you're going to get minimum wage regardless, and I accepted that. I just needed a job. I just didn't want my job to suck ass. But, tough tooties for me. I ended up having to get a job at a Kroger. And if I can bestow upon you any piece of knowledge after this video is done, let it be known, don't ever get a job at Kroger. Don't work. Just don't work at retail. It's the worst thing in the history of anything ever. It's so bad. I'm laughing because I'm obviously exaggerating, but it's just so bad. So you're probably asking, well, how is it so bad? How is Kroger so dang bad? Some of you might even work at Kroger and think, it's not terrible. Well, okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. You can get out of here. But the reason my job at Kroger was so bad, I was a bagger. Okay, we called them courtesy clerks, but everyone knows just baggers. Okay, lowest of the low. We are the end, the butt of the group. So, obviously what I did all day was I bagged groceries and pushed carts inside when they were, out in the parking lot, which was my favorite part of the job, but also the part that just I hated the most. I hated bagging, but pushing carts got really stressful sometimes. It really did. It really got stressful. Like, you got bags. Let me talk about bags first. Bags, first of all, you can't put too much stuff in one bag because it weighs it down too much, and it breaks the bag because they're flimsy pieces of shit. You can't put too much stuff in those bags because they'll break easily, because Kroger, God forbid them, invest in heftier bags that don't break under the weight of a pencil. So, you would. It's great because my mom would always ask me, "How was work today? Was you work good? Did you be social?" And I said, "Mom, the most social I was today is asking an old lady if she wanted her milk in a bag." Okay, like that's all I ever said. Because the cashiers and baggers didn't talk to each other because nobody wanted to be there. Not a soul in that store that worked there wanted to be there. And it was painfully obvious. It was so obvious. Like, we all were nice to the customers, but to each other, we all knew. We all knew that none of us wanted to be in that store. Now, bagging it's stressful because then you have those cashiers that are like lightning, and they feed things through the cash register at subsonic speed, and you can't possibly shove stuff into a bag fast enough to keep up with the cashier that's just raking things past the register. So you'll start getting everything piled up, and then everybody's looking at you because, well, that guy sucks at his job. What's he doing here? God, he needs to be fired. In which case I have to say, "Shut up, old man, 3 aisles over. Just get out of here with your cigarettes and go home." But no, stuff would start piling up at your register, and everybody would look at you. And it was the worst thing ever. Sometimes baggers, if they didn't have anybody, they would come over and help you out. And it was great, but at the same time, it made you feel like a piece of shit because you weren't doing your job good enough. So, purposefully, I avoided working for those cashiers at all times. The ones that worked like Sanic. Other than that, if you were bagging, you were automatically picked out to go take stuff back to the shelves if say a customer didn't want to buy something. They picked it out but didn't want to buy it, and that's fine. I'm not dogging on people for not either not being able to afford it or just realizing they don't actually need it. That's not what I'm dogging about. I'm dogging the fact that everybody immediately knows, or at least thinks, that you know where everything is in the store. This is not true. Kroger is a very big place, okay? I've been working here for maybe a month now. Now, if I had gone every single day, and if Kroger had actually trained me to know where everything was, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But considering the fact that Kroger didn't train me, I didn't fucking know where anything was. So I was just wandering around the store endlessly, desperately trying to find where the hell the fucking green beans went. And it wasn't just green beans, it was like some specific kind of green beans. Because I would find the normal green beans, but then the green beans that I was carrying were not amongst these beans. This was a different kind of bean entirely. And oh my god, would it enrage me, because I'd be standing here in an aisle for like 5 minutes wondering where the fuck these green beans went. And I couldn't fucking find them. Couldn't find the green beans. So I eventually just would throw them into the shelf and be like, screw it. I gotta get back to my fucking post. And then I get back and see that, oh hey, there's like 5 more things now that you have to take back to the shelves. And then I would get back to the thing and be like, where were you? You were supposed to go out on lot 5 minutes ago. And like, I've been taking stuff back to the shelf. Well, get out to lot, because you're missing your shift on lot, and now lot looks like ass. So I go out to lot, and lot is a mess, okay? There's no buggies inside. Because, you have the area. You walk in the store, and there's the buggies. You got the big set of buggies is right there, okay? There's no buggies there. And clearly this has not happened in the last 5 minutes, okay? These buggies did not just disappear in 5 minutes. It takes a significant amount of time to erase that area of the buggies, okay? It takes a significant amount of time, which obviously means that the person that was out here before me did not do their goddamn job. So, I'm sitting here, alright? Thinking to myself, how am I supposed to get all these buggies in here? Well, it's easy. You go out to the corrals, which is the area, you push your buggy in if you don't take it back inside. They're called corrals, by the way. You now know that. So go out to the corrals, and I think, okay, there's obviously got to be a ton of buggies out here. But no. The first buggy I go to is completely empty. There's no buggies in this corral. There's nothing here. There's nothing in this corral. And I'm like, well, this is impossible. So I go to the next corral. This corral is not only full of buggies, it is absolutely overflowing into the drive space, into the parking drive space. And I think to myself, well damn, maybe if these people weren't so fucking lazy, they could push it into the corral that clearly has no carts in it, instead of just shoving them into this clearly overpacked corral. So of course my absolute priority would be to clear all these buggies out of the drive space. So I'm gathering all these buggies, except there's 3 different kinds of buggies at Kroger. There's the normal buggies, normal size shopping carts, they're just normal. But then you have the small ones. They have like 2 layers on them. 2 layers. But they're really short. So they were really easy to collect because people seem to understand that they went together. But then there's a 3rd kind of buggy, and this enraged me. There's a kind of buggy that's slightly wider than the normal buggy. It's slightly wider. It's for people, with maybe 2 infants, so they can seat 2 infants on the same buggy, and just for more groceries in general. It's about 50% bigger than the normal buggy, okay? But people would try to put that buggy with the normal-sized buggies, and it wouldn't fit. I would literally see people struggle to try and fit them together, but it wouldn't work. So they just left it there. And because of that, it made a clog in the corral, and people would just leave their shit there. it looked awful, and it pissed me off to no end, and that's why it was so stressful. I shouldn't be stressing out about it, but God, was it annoying. So, you'd be working to clear a single buggy for 30 minutes straight, and then realize that while you're clearing out that corral of buggies, the corral over was overflowing too. So you weren't just shuffling that one corral, you were shuffling about 8 to 10 of them at one time, and they were all overflowing. And it was god awful. And you know what didn't help was that it was the middle of July in one of the hottest seasons that Georgia has seen in the past few years. I'm talking like it was 99 degrees for 5 days straight, okay? And you were out there for an hour to 3 hours straight. Was not fun. Not fun at all. God, was I happy when August 5th rolled around and I got to quit. Jesus Christ, that was a great day. That was a fantastic day. But about halfway through my work there, from about June 29th to July 1st, was one weekend. It was one weekend, and good Lord, was it the best weekend ever. So, here I am. About to be 19 years old. Got my great car here. Got my fantastic Jeebril. She's beautiful. I love her to death. Got my best friend, my boy Digger D178 here. He's over at my house. And we've been thinking, hey man, there's an event going on in Tampa this weekend. Guardian Con. It's a convention for people that play Destiny to get together and talk shit to each other. Not really. But, so you know what we did? Bought ourselves some tickets and we drove down to Guardian Con. 8-hour drive down to Guardian Con. Woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and got there at 3:50 because for some fucking reason my air conditioning cut out halfway through the drive and we had to pull over and figure that shit out. Dear God, that was hot. Once again, it was the hottest season Georgia had known for the past few years. It was about 95 degrees outside, and 2 sweaty teenage guys were in a car together. And God was it hot. It was really damn hot. But no, that weekend was fantastic. It was absolutely great. Definitely plan on going to Guardian Con 2018. Whew, man, that shit was great. I'm definitely going again. This time we're bringing our boy God5 Mercenary. It's going to be fantastic. If you're going to Guardian Con next year, look for your boy Skittlez. I'll be there. I don't know why you'd go there just to see me. You gotta pay like $25 to get in one day, and you have to drive to Tampa, unless you live in Tampa. But you have to drive to Tampa. And it's probably going to be really fucking hot. God, was it hot. Did I mention it was fucking hot? Because God, was it fucking hot. The only time it wasn't hot was when it was raining. But then it was humid, which we weren't sure if it was worse. I remember me and Digger, we went out and got in the pool. It was about 11 o'clock at night. It was pitch black outside. We'd been at the convention all day. Hung out with some fellow Destiny players, and this is a great weekend. We hung out with my boy at Mylan Games, Destiny lore channel. Grindhead Jim, Beard Grizzly, Born to Beat, great people, all of them great people. Hung out with them all day. We were tired, we were exhausted. It had been a very long, hot day. So we got in the pool at about 11 o'clock. We've been in this pool for about 5 minutes, and a policeman rolls up, and he says, hey guys, the pool's closed, you need to get out of the pool. So I said, well shit, I really wanted to, be in the pool, because it's really fucking hot outside. Did I mention it was fucking hot outside? So, instead of going back to our room, me and Digger decided that we would go to the Holiday Inn, one lot over, and get in their pool, because their pool was open all night, literally all night. So we're in that pool until about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was great. It was fantastic. But the trip was really great. I'm definitely going again. Like I said, if you're going to be there in Tampa, it's going to be July 18th, I think. I don't know, I'm not looking. This is completely unscripted. I'm just talking to myself here. It's going to be mid to late July of 2018. Definitely going. Hope to see you guys there if you're there. But let's move on. So, here I am. I'm at now. This is my new college. I move in and I realize my roommate. My roommate's mom and my mom talking to each other, and we find out, oh hey, my roommate has recently moved to my hometown about an hour away. So, hey, this is pretty cool. My roommate lives near me, but turns out no, he doesn't. He still lives here, like he lives like in the town of the college, but they own a house in my hometown. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you buy a house in my hometown? My hometown's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I'm just confused at this point. But that point aside, and the confusion that brings, the point aside, my roommate's a dick. So within the first 2 weeks, I have immediately realized that my roommate is the most antisocial motherfucker in the world. More antisocial than me, okay? And I have forgotten some serious, examples at this point. I just don't hold on to them, and I just forget about them because there's no point in holding on to them for too long. But this guy, continues to rant about how loud I am. Okay, when I will admit I am not a quiet person. I am loud. When I am playing Xbox and I get really into it, I'm loud, okay? I have a naturally commanding voice, alright? My voice is pretty loud when I am not trying to be quiet. It is loud. But at the same time, for the most part, I am trying to be quiet. I try to be quiet. The only moments where I get loud is when I laugh at a joke and I just can't help myself. But all that's going on, my roommate is playing League of Legends all day, literally all day. I don't think that guy goes to class. My roommate's playing League of Legends. He's screaming his fucking head off all day. So he's complaining about me being loud, but he's the one that's louder than me, longer than me. So I'm just confused. I said, okay, man. First of all, he's not complaining to me, he's complaining to our RA, our resident assistant, okay? He's not complaining to me, he's complaining to the RA. So the RA confronts me and tells me, hey, guys, Matthew, you're pretty loud, dude, you gotta calm down. I said, oh, man, I'm sorry, I'll calm down, I'll be quieter, it's my bad, I don't realize I'm that loud. I apologize to him, He tells me, a few days later, hey, man, you're still being pretty loud. So I told him, dude, I really do apologize. I don't mean to be so loud. I'm sorry. He tells me it's fine, just try to be quiet. Some people go to sleep. You don't know me, I'm a night owl, okay? It'll be 2 o'clock in the morning and I'll be wide awake. I'm a night owl, alright? And it sucks for me because everybody's going to sleep around me and I'm still awake and I'm still loud. It sucks. But, point. Let's bring the point back in here. My roommate never confronts me about this, alright? He never confronts me about how loud I am. But it pisses me off because I know that he's the one confronting the RA about it. About me being loud when he's the loud one. And it pisses me off. Oh my god, it's annoying. It's so annoying. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much. And I'm not even going to talk about all the passive aggressive statements that he thinks I don't hear. I've got my headphones on pretty much all the time. Either watching YouTube videos, talking to people on Xbox, listening to music. I'm doing something with my headphones on pretty much all the time, okay? If not, just to, muffle his sound a bit, because damn, does he not stop talking. And he thinks I don't hear the things he says. But But I hear him. Like, he says all this passive aggressive shit, and I hear him. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but damn, is it annoying. And you know what? I want to talk about it. I want to talk to him about it. But there's no point. You know, there's no point, really, in my eyes. There's just no point in it. So I'm just not going to. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm just going to put up with him. I'm just going to put up with his shit. He's going to put up with my shit. You know, I've stopped caring. I've stopped caring. You know, if I'm going to be loud to this guy, it sucks to suck. But, you know, roommate aside, let's talk more about the college part of the college. You know? And as I mentioned at the start of this, I am going into college for game design, okay? And you know, you can't really do game design without coding. So, you know, you gotta take a lot of coding classes to get a game design major. It makes sense, you know? It makes perfect sense. But you know what else you need? You need math. So I gotta take a lot of math too. And it sucks because both of those classes are my worst classes. It's awful. So let's start off with my coding class, alright? Let's start off with the coding class. So, coding class. Computer Science and Engineering 1101. Or was it 1301? I don't fucking know. These numbers are confusing. Anyway. So here I am. Semester starts off in coding class. And you know what? It seems pretty basic. But I have a little trouble learning it, alright? There's a little trouble. It's like learning a new language. It's literally like learning a new language. You have to learn the basics of everything, and then you build your way up, and it gets more and more complicated and complex as you go along, which I expected, but the class moved way too fast for me. It moved really fast, and basically what happened, my best way to explain it, what happened is I had a rough foundation. Okay, I got the first week or two was the foundation, and I didn't understand all of it. I understood some of it, maybe even most of it, but I didn't understand all of it. And that little bit that I missed is like that stacking game you'll see at the mall, you know? You'll see the stacking game at the mall, and you get higher and higher and higher, and it gets faster and faster and faster as you go up. But if you miss it, if you misclick it one time, you'll lose a piece. And you'll lose a piece, and you'll lose another piece until you have no pieces. And you're basically just screwed. Okay, that's basically what happened. I missed it a little bit in the second week, so I lost a square. And then the third week, and I lost another square, and it just got worse and worse and worse. So about a few weeks in, I realized that I am going to fail this class no matter what. You know, you kind of seem to get that notion when the teacher tells you it's only going to get worse from here after this test, and they literally say, by the way, you know, if you get less than a 50 on this test, there's really no way you can recover. There's just no way you can recover. I highly advise you just drop out of the class, and you get your grade back, and you get a 41. You know, that's a sign. You know, you should probably drop out. So I dropped out of that class before shit got real. And you know what? I was pretty depressed about that for a while. Yeah, it just really sucked. It really hit me pretty hard. You know, I took a break from streaming for a while. I just wasn't in the mood to do anything for like half a week. You know, I'm fine now. It's just, but it hit me pretty damn hard that the core essential for game design, coding, at the very basic piece of it, the very first coding class, I couldn't understand it. It hit me really hard. To this day, it still hits me pretty hard. I'm pretty scared of coding at this point. I'm terrified of it. I've got to do it, but I'm terrified of it. I will come over it. Just don't go into the comments and start writing a bunch of inspirational shit. Okay, I watched Gurren Lagann like 3 times since dropping that. I'm fine. But that class aside, you know, the necessary evil that it is, let's go on to math. The evil. It's not a necessary evil. It's just evil. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Math is important. Kids, stay in school. So, let's talk about my math class. I am at a stage in my math journey. I'm at a stage in my math journey where I'm taking pre-calculus. All right, pre-calculus. It's I've taken this class 3 times. All right, not because I failed it, but just I don't know why. I don't know why I've taken this class 3 times. I took 2 math classes. I took Introduction to Mathematical Modeling, which is basically teaching you how to really get the most out of a graphing calculator, and it's changed my fucking life. Okay, I can solve anything on a calculator now, and it's great. I loved that class. It was really easy to learn. It was fantastic. Second class, it was an online class. It was really easy. I did everything on a calculator, and it was simple. All right, it was really fucking easy. But I learned the same shit that I did last semester. Okay, like I learned the same basic math stuff that I did the previous semester. And then I moved. Okay. And boom. Here I am, learning the same shit again. Okay, it's the same shit, except this time there's a twist. There's a big twist. My professor does not let us use calculators. And this hits me really damn hard, okay? Because I can't do long division. Ask me to do long division without a calculator, and I'm boned. I will sit there trying to figure that shit out and never get it done, okay? I won't get it done. It's not possible. My brain will just shut down. It freezes. It sucks. But even without that, okay? Even without that, I would pay attention in class, and I would try to learn the stuff he would be teaching. But here's the second catch of this math class. My math professor has the thickest African accent any human being could have, alright? I'm obviously exaggerating again, but this dude has the thickest accent, alright? And I know I am not bashing his race, I am not bashing anything, okay? I'm not bashing his accent, you know? If it was literally any other scenario and I wasn't trying to learn math from him, I would sit there and listen to him talk for a while, because he has a nice voice, okay? The accent is fine to listen to, but when you're trying to learn math, it is not okay. You can't understand half the shit he's saying, because half the shit he's talking about is logarithmic long equations, and you have no fucking clue what he's saying, because not only is his handwriting really sloppy and you can't read what he has on the board, but you can't understand a damn word he says. So I'm sitting there, not allowed to use my calculator, and having no fucking clue how to work it out on a piece of paper. So I'm just sitting there, screwed. Like, I have no idea what's going on. I've clearly seen all these problems before, okay? I've seen all these problems before. I know the gist of it. But I can't work it out on a piece of paper, and that's what gets me, okay? I know how to on a calculator. You'll look at my homework grades, I have 100 to a 90 to 100 on all the homework grades. But I can't work it out on paper. So I'm sitting there freaking out constantly about, oh boy, how badly I'm going to screw up this next test because my teacher won't let me use the goddamn fucking calculator. It's fantastic. It's great, okay? I'm not... You know what? Screw it. I am going to talk about it. I am going to talk about this. Everything aside, everything I've been saying aside, I hate the current education system, alright? I don't want to get super preachy and conspiratorial, alright? That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just saying that we've had the same education system for a very long time, okay? And with the coming generation and the rise in technology through the ages, I think it's time to adjust the school system, okay? I think it's time that we need to adjust it a bit, you know? Maybe I think I'm a good example here, and I don't want to be the example, but I think my problem with my coding class is a great example. I want to learn it. I really, really want to learn it. I have a passion for this stuff, okay? I have an absolute passion for it, But because the class moved too fast, I failed the class. I would have failed the class if I didn't drop out. Thank my lucky fucking stars that I dropped out. But I would have failed the class. However, if the class moved a bit slower, more personalized approach, if it moved at my pace, I'm trying not to sound like a fucking snowflake here, but if it moved at my pace, I would further understand the concept. I would perfect the material that's being taught to me before moving on to the next step. That way I know everything that I could possibly know. I don't roughly understand it. I don't remember who it was, but somebody referred to it as Swiss cheese, and it's the perfect fucking analogy, because you got it, but there's holes everywhere, okay? There's holes everywhere, and basically the whole concept is just kind of boned from the start. You're just screwed from the start, and there's no other way to really put it. You're just kind of screwed. So yeah, there's that. All right. Well, it's a bit of an abrupt end, but I've run out of shit to say. Thank you guys so much for your input on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, do that. Get more shit like this. I definitely plan on doing that Sonic video before Forces comes out. But without further ado, I'm going to end it here, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace off.